Hey gang, Crooker here for Crooker Plays at the foot of beautiful Lake Crooker on the planet... Oh, where are we now? We are on the planet Kazai. Kazai. We started this series out on the planet Gomeron, and then we went kind of to the planet Danai or something, and now we are on the planet Kazai. One of the problems with playing a Let's Play in a pre-alpha game is the fact that when the new releases come out, you kind of have to start your game again because the planets that were generated when you were playing don't necessarily have all the features that you want to play with. You want to keep up to date and on top of things. So we are now in a brand new series that I'm calling Road to Stable. This is our Alpha 8 Road to Stable version, or series. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be kind of gearing this more towards building a small base and with my two ships here and moving those from game to game. Now, it kind of took me a while to figure out this process and to get it working or to understand what was happening here. And I made a mistake when I moved my bases, and thanks to Lift Pizzas and You Can't See Me Gamer for kind of doing tutorials on how these processes work of editing and moving your games. You're actually manipulating the files outside of the game in order to make this happen. So it's kind of cheaty or rather hacky, but it works for now until at least we get a stable version. So I moved everything over and realized that, you know, all of your cargo boxes and all of your constructors come and they have all of the inventory that you left in the last game. So everything comes across with you. And so I said, oh, this is great. Now, I'm still working through my tech tree, so I'm only at level 7 here in this game, so I don't have everything unlocked. And I realized that on my person, in my personal inventory in the other game, I had like a T2 drill, and I had, you know, some other equipment that I don't yet have the ability to build in this game. So I went back to my other game because what I wanted to do was take my inventory, dump it into one of my ships, and then bring my ship over again so all of my inventory is in the ship. And it's just the strangest thing. This is proof that Murphy's Law exists, because as I'm loading that game to play, my power grid went out. Of course, I'm not smart enough to actually have my computer on a UPS or an uninterruptible power supply. So my computer goes off while I'm in the middle of loading my old Empyrion game. And when the power went off for 3 seconds, so everything went dead for 3 seconds and then came back on. I'm like, oh, well, that's great, because that's just enough to gank everything that you were doing. So I went back into Empyrion after I restarted my computer, went back into Empyrion, loaded the game, and my old save game is now corrupt. I can actually not, and I'll show you, if I quit out of this for now, I'll show you my old game. So we'll go resume. This is my old survival game that I was playing in my previous series. It says location nothing. And I tried to fix this, but as I go into it, I get an internal error occurred, quit and mail, or whatever. So I'm just going to quit out of the game and come back into it. So I don't know what it is about my save game that corrupted. I do know I have a bunch of personal inventory that I would love to bring into my new game, like my T2 stuff. So if you know how I could fix my save game, let me know. I mean, everyone's going to say, well, that depends on what's wrong with it, and I have no idea what's wrong with it. I mean, all those files are just there. They look fine on first inspection, but whatever. Something is ganky, and anyway, I'm going to just restart my game here. Okay, so here we are. We're back in the game, and I still, like I said before, have lots of stuff, but don't have the good stuff that I really want. So we are going to persevere, and we're going to, first of all, have a sleep here so we can get back to day. I want to make sure I don't have anything perishable, which I do. And if I put that in my non-perishable organics, no. I want to put that in my raw materials food fridge so it doesn't go stale overnight. And I'm going to sleep. Sleepy, sleepy, sleep. And here we are. It's morning over beautiful Lake Crooker. When I imported my base, I usually have my base overlooking the lake, and when I imported it, I must have placed my core the wrong way because my base, as you can see, ouch, is backwards. It's facing the wrong way, which kind of sucks. But whatever. So what I did was I updated it and put some windows in the back, so I can just stand here and wistfully look over the lake if I want to. Whatever. And I did that the same to my personal quarters. I just put these windows in here so I can look out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, since the current release now, we have what's called the Fog of War on your map. So if you look at the map, you can see that you can't see anything unless you've been there. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm kind of okay with it, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense to me. If you had, you know, like a globe, like a globe of the planet, or a map of the planet on you, like if it was real life. But so now you have to fly around the planet uncovering things, which is fine, I guess. I mean, it tells you what parts of the planet are unexplored, so that's really kind of cool. And these POIs kind of appear, or at least the mission-based POIs appear on your undiscovered map. So this gives you lots of stuff to do. So obviously I've flown out here, and I found some promethium, and I found an abandoned mine. So I'm going to be going after that in a bit, and that's going to be its own episode completely. But for now, I'm going to travel this way, for the purposes. Well, man, this globe is big. It takes a long time to fly around. So let's see how far we can go. I actually do need promethium because I'm out and I don't have any fuel. So maybe that's what I should do right now. I need to build some screens too so I can label these boxes. But what I usually do is when I put my boxes in there, my cargo boxes, I always label them. And you can access these from anywhere in your base. Like, you don't have to stand in front of them and hit F to go in. I could go into my garden. I could be outside and just hit the P button, and you have access to all of your cargo boxes. This is also a really great suggestion. If you're in a POI and you find the core and you destroy the core, you don't have to go running around looking for cargo boxes. You just hit the P button, which brings up your control panel, and then you can see all of the cargo boxes, all of the alien cargo containers, all of that stuff, and you can just grab everything from there, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. The only time you ever have to go up to something specifically is if you were trying to dismantle it for raw materials or collect it. So these are my cargo boxes for now. I have weapons and ammo, which I keep all my weapons and ammo, obviously. Personal equipment, which I keep anything that I can carry on me, except for those. Those are carryovers from my previous build. Right now, 2 survival tools and an old drill that I don't need right now, so I keep those just in case I ever lose one. Fuel and oxygen. I keep plenty of fuel and oxygen and water, I guess, in here. Because I don't have any promethium, I'm running extremely low on fuel, so that is going to be my next priority. Building blocks. So if I make an excess of building blocks, I can just dump them in here, and I know that's where I can go to get them. Building components, anything that you build in the constructor for the purposes of building a base, would go into here. So I have some extra stuff that I built or found. So I would look in here before I started building things, just in case I needed something. Ship components, anything for building ships, obviously. Medical stuff. You can drop all your medical stuff in here so that you have a repository of it for when you're equipping yourself to go out. Misc junk, whatever. Non-perishable organics. This is where I keep everything that will not perish, but is an organic material. So alien teeth, alien parts. Seeds will never perish. Spoiled food will never perish, but they're all useful things that I don't need to waste fridge space on. Now I've got 2 fridges, one for raw materials that I can carry my raw materials. That's not a raw material, so I'm not going to carry it in there. And then finished products, stuff that I make out of those raw materials. Everything, and of course, that shouldn't be in there. That shouldn't be in there, that shouldn't be in there, that shouldn't be in there, that shouldn't, and that shouldn't. Everything else here is made. So this stuff goes in my raw materials to be constructed into something. I got lots of meat there, so I'm going to make some canned meat or canned vegetables. Actually, I'm going to take a look. So I'm going to collect all this stuff. This one line here should make 1 can of vegetables. 1 can of vegetables. 1 can of vegetables. So I have 6 cans of vegetables. This is another 3 cans. So I've got 9 cans of vegetables in here. And 9 honey, which are good for health. So I'm going to start making... See, canned meat used to be better than canned vegetables, but now it's only 25 and 102. And this is 30 health and 128 food. And stamina 14. And it lasts longer. There's no reason, there's no need to make canned meat. In fact, I think meat in this game is irrelevant unless you want to make steaks, but the perish time is bad. The food value is okay. Don't even need meat to make ratatouille. Like, you can make pizza with it, but what's the point? Like, you know, when we're talking about making survival stuff, the point of least resistance is your best bet. That's why I use the honey for health and maybe have some anti-indigestion medicine with you, just in case. It is possible to get indigestion from eating raw materials, raw foods. It's rare, though. But I don't see any point in using meat when you can get much more food and health value for much less materials with a can of vegetables. So I can make 9 of those. And I've got 9 natural sweeteners, which I'm going to keep. And then I also have the new alpha, the phase 6 Alpha 8 version allows you now to craft confetti moss scrapings, fire moss scrapings, alien plasma, T6 and ZR1, which goes into making, you know, health kits, decontamination kits, that kind of thing. So if you want to carry these things around, I haven't had a whole ton of use for these kits. I've never used them. I have required anti-parasite injections. I have required anti-stomach pills or anti-indigestion pills. And of course, bandages are always a good thing to have a few of on you. You don't need too many. Once you run out, you come back and make some more or get some more. But pretty much the way I have my base, my farm set up right now is pretty much the way I'm going to keep it. It is possible, and I've talked about this in the comments, that I might make another garden above this one that has 4x9 plots that I just use for mushrooms or what else can you grow? Like, just to make, you know, confetti moss scrapings, to make some organics for medicine. All right, so we've done enough of that. I'm going to take these canned vegetables. I'm going to put that spoiled food in there. I'm going to take half of those and put those in my constructor. that, and that in my constructor, and we're going after Promethium now. So, one more little tutorial. What I like to do, and I think I may have touched on this before, but it's a good idea to stock your ships with the bare minimums of survival, because if you go out, you know, and you're POI attacking, or you're, you know, just doing something and you get killed in a dangerous area, you want to respawn in the same area, but you want to be able to go back and find, you have to find your briefcase with all your stuff in it. And if you have no weapons and you die in an area where, you know, there's lots of bad creatures like spiders or whatever, you won't have any way to defend yourself or get your weapons. So what I do is I stock both of my ships, my HV and my SV, with a minimum core of materials that'll allow me to use this vehicle as a mobile safe house in case I die and have nothing on me. So we're talking one weapon with ammo, a survival tent, a portable constructor, a couple of cores, a multi-tool. I should include multi-tool fuel, at least one in here as well, which I don't have right now because I have no Promethium. A mobile air conditioner, that is an essential tool if you're out in the wilderness, especially if you get caught on a mountain or something and you can't, and it's too cold for you to survive. I've got a shotgun on here as well, so I've got actually two weapons. And then you want oxygen and you want fuel in here. That should be... Oh, and I would also suggest having at least 1 or 2 cans of vegetables in here, of canned vegetables in here, just in case. For survival. So that's that. Now I'm going to take this for now because I'm not taking my SV out. I'm going up and taking my SV out. But I'm going to drop building components. I'm going to put those lights. That's ship components. I'm going to put those in there for now. I've got some food. I've got some bandages, antibiotic treatment. I've got my night vision goggles, essential. I wish you could build those, but I think that would probably make it too easy if you could. I've got my detector and my ore scanner, and I'm ready to go after... What do I have? I have my drill, and I have some biofuel. I might want to make a couple extra biofuel. I'm going to make 3 extra biofuel just to have some in case. I've got a chainsaw, but these take plant fibers, and as long as I have fuel in my my chainsaw, I'll be able to make as much biofuel as I want, because you can make it. Can you make it in your survival? No. But you can't make it in your survival constructor or your suit constructor, but you can make it in your survival constructor, which I also have on my SV. Now, the argument could be made if you're stocking up your SV with equipment. Right now, my SV doesn't have a mobile constructor, but you always want to have a mobile constructor and maybe 100 or so of the big 3 raw materials: the copper, the silicon, and the iron. Just in case you need to build some stuff in a hurry. Right now, I'm not at that position because I can't put a mobile constructor on my SV because I can't actually build it yet. I haven't unlocked. Oh, I do have some points here. Base. Okay, I've got all that stuff on my small vessel. Do I have mobile constructor? I'm going to take that landing gear. Hover vessel. Mobile constructor HV. Where's mobile constructor SV? Oh, it's already there. I've already got it. Okay. 10 and 10. I'm going to take those because I don't have a warp drive on my ship yet. I'm going to take those. And I do need to build actually some of this basic stuff for my base. Because I brought my base over, I didn't have to build anything for it. So I'm going to have to kill some stuff just to go up to level 9 and build that. So there's some extra biofuel. Let's hit the road, Jack. For the record, when I do get my mobile constructor... Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. For the record, when I do get my mobile constructor, I think I'm parked a little too close to the edge of my... let me pull it forward a little bit. I'm going to put my... In here, I've got my O2 station, which you have to access directly, and I've got space here for a mobile constructor. So I'm going to bring my oxygen station out here to the back, cover it with the grills here, and then put my mobile constructor in there because I can access that from inside the ship. All right, we are on our way. Now we're heading towards Prometheum, so I'm going to add that waypoint. Oh, am I going the wrong way? There we are. All right, so we are on the way. If you have any questions or comments about what I'm doing, don't hesitate to post in the comments. One thing I just noticed in my last game, I came across an alien shrine, and it started shooting at me, and I lost one of my lights. I had a light on the other side of my cockpit. Someone else in the comments, and I'll post it here, suggested that my my SV is not strong enough. It's a very weak SV, and I acknowledge that. I think when I was building it, it was just kind of to get something really quick out there so I could just get in the air and start exploring a little bit. It wasn't really designed to be an attack craft, or it's kind of, I have a weapon on it so I can kill some animals for experience, which sounds very NRA. And I also put, because of space, you can see there I put my cargo boxes right on the bottom of the ship, unprotected and undefended, and that's an absolute no-no, especially from like a ground base that might be shooting up at you. I've got you can see my fridge there, you can see my ammo box, and my 2 cargo boxes are fully exposed on the bottom, which is, for an attack craft, absolutely a no-go. And because this was more designed, like I said, as an exploration vehicle, there was no thought to hardening this up and making it an attack vessel. But I think what I might do, because I like this design, it's pretty sleek, is kind of load up the bottom with hardened steel plates, because I don't actually have any hardened steel plates yet. I haven't built any yet. Or with hardened steel blocks, I guess, hardened steel SV blocks, and just kind of put a skid plate on the bottom of my ship so that it's a little bit harder to attack from the bottom, and then I can just move my landing gear down. It's going to make the ship a little bit less sleek than it is now, a little less low profile, but it'll certainly help protect my my important cargo moving forward. So thanks for those comments. I do appreciate all, and I read all comments that come through my channel, and any hints and tips definitely are appreciated. So feel free, just be nice. You don't want to, I don't want to get any fights going here in the comments. Just be nice, have fun, and we won't have any problems. And I'll learn a whole heck of a lot. So we're going into NVG mode. Night vision goggles, you gotta love them. Tower, we are approaching Prometheum deposit, requesting permission to land. All right, we've got 2 promethium deposits here and an abandoned mine. This is a good thing. I've been in these abandoned mines before. Now, one of the things that I noticed in the last game is that that I pointed out in one of my missions is that Elion, who designed all these POIs, did a trick and moved the core on their Crash Titan vessel. So I'm wondering if they've moved the core on these abandoned mines and stuff like that too. All right, gang, I am going to rough landing. I'm going to grab some of this promethium here, but I'm going to do that off camera because no one needs to see that. But thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you coming. Leave a comment in the bottom. Oh, look, we got some company. We got some company. Do I not have... Oh. Hate those things. And, like, how do these spiders actually... $623 experience for spiders. That's a lot for those little creatures. And there's a lot of them, too. So you can really gain level up quickly just by killing spiders. Someone in the comments mentioned, "Oh, I hate spiders," and I said, I hate spiders too, but don't think of them as ugly spiders. Think of it as lovely big balls of experience points, because you can kill them with your ship with ease. And they also give you food. They give you lots of experience. Spiders are a wonderful thing. Just don't get bitten. Okay, so I'm back to where I was here. I'm going to mine this promethium off camera. So thanks again for playing, and we'll catch you on the flip.